morning. Good morning. Hello. Right. Good morning, everyone. Please, let me know if you guys can hear me before we proceed. If you can hear me, just let me know in the chat. All right. Thank you. Good morning. Just giving a few minutes for some other persons to join us before we proceed. All right. Hope everybody's doing okay today. Okay. All right. Good morning once again, and welcome to today's class. Today we're going to just look at what the market has for us, and then I'm going to share some live setups that I'm going to be taking. I have not traded anything throughout yesterday, and the market was kind of crazy yesterday. Like, sometimes we always say Mondays are slow and all of that, but not every Monday is slow actually. Yeah, some Mondays are pretty fast, and yesterday was a volatile Monday. I don't know if you guys noticed. Yeah, the dollar was crazy yesterday. It was just shooting down. Other pairs were following up suit. For those of you that made money yesterday, please clap for yourself because the market did not give clean entries like that for me though. Yeah, so I was not able to get in, and I don't know if you guys made money. Please, if you made money in the comment section, please let me know. If you made any money yesterday, or if you lost money, also let us know. Not just tell us that you made money. Yeah. Did any of you catch any trade yesterday? The market was wild. Anyways, I like to start my trade usually from Tuesdays. That's when I'm more comfortable. Thinking the market modes have given us some balance, but the market did not give us much balance actually. It created a lot of gaps, a lot of unfulfilled areas of interest because of the rally, majorly on XXX USD pairs, right? So let me share my screen now and we'll talk about some of those pairs that I'm looking out for. Okay. Just a moment. All right. So please let me know in the comment if you can see my screen now. I'm sharing GBP USD. My screen is on GBP USD. So please, if you can see my screen, let me know so we can proceed. All right. So I got a yes from one person. That means okay, good, good. That means we can see it. All right. So I'm going to start with GBP USD. Yeah. So what you're seeing here is the live chat that did not activate me. Um, I had a pending order here. I think I dropped this on my VIP group this morning. This is one of the setups that I dropped, but we did not get activated. I had a pending order just around here. So let me give you guys a breakdown of why I'm choosing to, buy from here. And I'm like, it's an aggressive continuation buy. And the reason why I'm calling it an aggressive continuation buy, I'm going to explain, right? Most times, we always want to wait for deep retracement. So let's analyze this is a 30-minute time frame, but let's analyze it from a higher time frame. Let's go to the 4 hour first of all. Right? 4 hour. Now on the 4 hour time frame, Yesterday we had all of this rally to the upside, right? So after price pushed down to this point, this low right here, it reacted to this order block origin, and then we saw price moving up, breaking structure. All right, breaking structure to the upside, or you can call this a change of character because it broke above this high and also broke above this high that was now created. But this high was not created by a low, right? So this is the low that created this high, and market has actually broken this particular high. So you would call it a break of structure. However, we're still pushing to the upside, right? So this is a very clear impulsive move to the upside, and it can only get easier if you understand that if we're having this kind of impulsive move, obviously the correction is giving us those small candle type. Like I told you, you can literally just look at the chart and tell the direction with your naked eyes, right? You can also look at the candles and just read the direction of the market. You see the candle created an impulsive move with just one, two, three, four candles, and you can see the correction, small, teeny, tiny candles, and all of that. So now this is how I came about that entry. First of all, after the break, you could see that here we had a very nice order block, right? Get respected. There was no mitigation. It mitigated it a little bit, but there was no pull to the downside. Obviously, an order block like this, we should see market respecting it and dropping pips to the downside. But it did not do that. Rather, we broke right through the order block. Now, this is what we call a breaker block, right? When an order block gets mitigated and broken without being respected, there's a difference between mitigation and the order block being respected. This order block was obviously mitigated because price have passed through it, but did it get respected? No, right? Like I like to tell my students, it's just like somebody just come and knock on your door, and the moment you open the door, the person just enters. Sometimes you don't even open the door for the visitor. The visitor just opens your house, enters, and walk right straight to the back door and continue his movement. You understand? What you would normally do is the elders in your house will say, go and call that person back. Who is he? Why would you just pass through without greeting anybody, without, asking for permission? Or normally you're supposed to go through the front door and go back. I don't know if this analogy makes any sense, but I'm just trying to make right turns resistance kind of movement, right? So apparently the order block that was not respected as a resistance will now turn to a support. Does that make sense? Breaker block, right? But the entry was not still gotten from a 4 hour. I had to break it down to smaller time frames. So I came down to the daily and to the 2 hour time frame first of all. Now on the 2 hour time frame, you can see another inner order block, right? Another one, like the order block is even more refined here, and price still below here. You see the market had some reaction at this point, but the reaction did not cause any push to the downside, right? So 1 hour time frame, even clearer on the 1 hour time frame, right? Now, the reason why I'm using this lower part as my entry is because if you look closely, if I open this chart, I hope you can see it properly, you would see that let me drop up a line. Let me put a line on this 1 hour here. Put a line on this 1 hour. Now, you can see that markets touched this particular price, touched the wick of this order block that was created, touched the wick, it touched the wick of this one, mitigating these 2 weeks, right? And then price pushed up. So when price did that, I remember in the last class we had on Sunday, I taught you guys something about some kind of mitigation, right? Um, inner break of structure and all of that, those kind of liquidity moves. Then if you go down to a lower time frame again, we now have this smaller order block inside. And remember, this order block is still part of the whole order block that we saw on the daily time frame, right? So this gives me the reason why I have an entry here, because now this has become my liquidity point, my internal structural liquidity, and price have now taken out this liquidity, come to this area, but it did not mitigate me yet. I still have a pending order here. The pending order did not get activated, and now you see price is reacting to this order block, right? Now, the reason why, again, I say that this is an aggressive continuation entry is because we want to see a full retracement. But be that as it may, the conditions are already giving us a continuation for price to tap in from here to continue going up based on what I'm also seeing on the dollar index. But it's a tight one. It's a 14 pip stop loss, and I think how many people take profit again? This is a 1:3.7. That's close to 1:4 if we get activated and price move. Now, another thing about this kind of setup is this here. Anytime price comes this close and I don't get activated here, two things are involved. If the market should pull out properly, I will delete that order. But if it doesn't pull out properly, there's still a chance that we might still come back here and get tested to go back in, or we might just get busted straight up, right? So in this case, I'm just going to leave my pending order there. I'm not risking too much on this one. I'm going to leave my pending order here because I still expect this price to be mitigated before any small kind of push. But on this kind of trade, I'll manage the trade properly by breaking even real fast should I get activated, so that I don't hear a story that touch much later. Maybe they want to come back and use this deep retracement, because if you look here, there was a sweep of liquidity before this move started. So this is another valid point area where we're going to wait for price to come back to much later, right? If we can capitalize on a short move here, it sells all the way back down here, then we can get a better entry for the buy right from here. Okay, so that's on GBP USD. So I have okay, gold, right? There was this on Sunday we had this analysis on gold. Let me show you guys this setup, right? So I had this this outlook on gold, where I'm expecting price to drop all the way back to this zone before we get this buy continuation. But guess what? The market did not. When market got to this area, that is this resistance point, right? Now, I didn't get any. The reason why I didn't sell, this was the plan, right? For market to push up to this point, sell from here, and then we join the sell. We'll find a sell entry and join all the way down, right? The reason why I didn't join any sell from here was because there was no candles, there was no confirmation, right? Price got in there, and you can see that it didn't give us any valid confirmation for a sell. Now, even if you look on the lower time frame, it was just giving a kind of cool retracement, no sweep, nothing whatsoever to say, okay, hey, we're actually going down from here. So when I started even seeing these rejections from here, these rejections, that let me delete this so we can see it properly. So when I started seeing these rejections from here, 1, 2, 3 rejections, right? Already this gave me the chills that price might probably just shoot up from here. But I was still expecting that, okay, maybe they might just, sweep this rejection and, come back to this area before the buy continued. But hell no, price from here just shot up like it was massive. I don't know who was able to catch this buy. If you caught this buy, this is massive. This is absolutely massive. Okay, Isaac said you were rather waiting for EU and G to get up to the order block to drop for the sell. Yeah. Which of the sell are you talking about? This morning or from yesterday? This morning or from yesterday? Anyways, so let's talk about gold a bit, right? Let's talk about gold. So now, gold is clearly very bullish. So at this point here, if you ask me now, are you waiting for prices to come back to the zone? No, I'm not anymore, right? Why? Because the structure have changed. Now we need to also change with the market flow. So right now I'm not waiting for price to come back to this zone. Maybe when we change direction, we might mitigate this other block here. But for now, we have bust to the upside, and this is not the kind of what they call it. This is not the kind of liquidity sweep where you say, okay, price just wanted to take out this higher and drop. Now, there are two ways. There's one very simple way you can understand when there is a manipulation move and when it's just a clear break of structure, right? When you have something like this, remember these classes that we're having, they are not just classes for me to just call out trades for you. At least we can pick up one or two things and learn from it, right? This, right? And market breaks out of it. Normally, what you're expecting is a continuation. Break and retest trader will see this as a break, then expect price to come and retest and continue going. But in some cases, especially for SMC traders, this kind of accumulation phases are traps, right? You see price will easily just break out from it and then drop back into the structure. Now, when you see a clean drop back into the structure, just know that this is a fake out. But whenever you see price slowly, let me delete again. Whenever you see price do something like this and then break and retest, right? And in most cases, in this kind of break and retest, we usually have price coming to the resistance, turning to support. But this is 4 hours. So let's break down this structure even more so that we can see clearly where we would love to join. Now, you see one of those things that I talked about here. Gold has been leaving a lot of gaps, a lot of imbalances, right? Here we have one unmitigated order block. Here we have another deep retracement area that was not mitigated as well, right? We have this and we have this again. So clearly the market and the structure is very, very bullish. We have this break of structure here. So let me take this out. I have another break of structure here. Another break of structure. And yes, there's another break of structure here. Maybe you might not see this. It is a break of structure. And now market. So in this kind of situation now, you see, before we had this order block right here and price give us a weak mitigation, right? That's a shadow kind of mitigation. And then here was where we actually broke out from the main structure itself, right? This whole zone that I drew is actually the breakout. So in this kind of situation, because of the momentum that gold is still moving with, leaving a lot of spaces behind, we are still going to see that. That is the reason, one of the reasons why I'm not going to expect price to drop all the way into these zones right now. I'm going to be using this last break of structure. So let me pull this up to a 1 hour time frame again. Now, this is the last break of structure we have here. So I have one area of interest right here, and I have another major one inside here. This is the kind of moves that I don't like because they're kind of difficult to, to catch. But because all these ones are way behind, I'm going to forget about some of them now and focus on where the major break actually happened. And that is why I'm going to follow up on this particular zone. So these are 1, 2, 3, the major ones I'll be looking at. However, I will still be looking at these two first. And most importantly, I think this is the one that will suffice for me, right? This one. Now, this one can go only if we have clean engineered liquidity around this zone. Then I can probably use this for the continuation. But if there is no clean liquidity that have been created, because these have fair value gap, these have fair value gap, these also have a little bit of it, right? This even more. So they all have fits to the confirmation. However, what is now going to, give me the final is the liquidity that will be created around that area. If I have a clean liquidity created around this zone, right, like price to come and go, then I will use this. If not, this is going to be part of the liquidity. This could be part of the engineered liquidity. Price can come and give us something like this, right? Then move, strike for this one. I'll be more comfortable taking from this point if we're going to use this high or this pullback as a liquidity, right? That's the reason why I told you guys I'll prefer to go with this one. But this can also suffice because the pressure is really high. So let's see if the bullish continuation will proceed over any kind of retracements that we're going to have. Now, if you go deeper, since you understand that, okay, this is where we're expecting price to come to, and you want to trade any reversals right now, which is really dicey, this is how you're going to trade your reversal. We have a change of character here, a choke, Yeah, why do I call this a change of character? This is a change of character because this low actually closed above this high right here. So this is a confirmed higher low, and this is a confirmed higher high. And you can see right here that market actually changed character, right? After changing character, it's still what broke another structure right here. We have another break of structure right here. And ultimately, if this is the case, we have a valid area of interest right here for this. And we have FVG here. We just want to see more engineered liquidity for price to tap in. But just so you know, this is a reversal trade, right? And you know how I feel about reversal trades whenever I'm taking one. So just so you know, this is a reversal trade. GBP USD is still refusing to come back down. And if it doesn't come back down like this and push up to this, but I'm deleting that order because maybe the next time it's coming down, it's just going to sweep that order, hit SL straight, and then what do you see? It's going to go for that low placement right there. So this would have been a very nice opening of the week to just catch something first. You know, there's this feeling you get when you catch your first trade of the week as a win. Yeah, it gives you an extra kind of boost, an extra kind of motivation, rather than starting on an SL. It doesn't mean that that week is going to be bad or anything, but there's always a different kind of feel or confidence that come with starting the week on a win. I don't know if you feel that way, but I always feel that way up till now. Like anytime I catch a win, like my first trade of the week is a win. There's this ginger that comes with it. Anyways, um, let's see. Let's proceed again. So let's talk about Euro USD. Euro USD. Euro USD. Right, the same thing, very similar to what is happening with gold right now. Euro USD is creating a massive okay, so right, so this is it on Euro USD. There was this sell zone that we had a long time ago right here. I think this was since last week, and price is heading to that point right now. This sell zone, let me expand my screen so you can see it properly. Right, so I'll still show you guys on the lower time frame. See where I had the sell zone, market did not come back there. It just tapped in, but I think there's still an opening for price to reach there. So right now we are still not there. We just engineered more liquidity, but we appear to be very bullish. So why we're not going to waste time on this is because it's probably the same thing that is happening on gold and GU, right? Now we still have this order block here. If you're wondering what price is actually reacting to, you see this breaker block, right? So this is an order block that got wicked out, and this week was as a result of news, right? Sometimes week that news cause may not really hold a lot of water, right? That one may just be a kind of partial mitigation, as we call it, right? So right now, this order block was still a valid one for price to respect. But you see how we had this massive impulsive move that broke through this order block without any reaction. And hence, what you see now, price have come back there as a resistance turn support. That is where we're having that reaction. Right, that's where we're having that reaction. Now, two things are involved. We might just, because of the momentum, if this is London session now, we're still really not picked up much momentum during this London session. I believe New York session is going to give us more action, right? So we might just have a continuation to the upside. But depending on the kind of candles that would be printed or during the on the lower time frames during this intersection between London and New York session, we might see a bigger drop, right? Back for a better or a proper correction. Because as it stands now, market have already reacted to this order block. So the next move now might be for the order block to respect and continue pushing price up, or for it to just drop down, depending on the reaction from the lower time frame that we're going to see, or the build up rather from the lower time frame. So ultimately, I'll still be expecting more correction for me to be able to join the buy, right? So let's break it down again. Let's come to the 2-hour time frame. Now, most times when we have this kind of reaction, weeking out, it is reacting to this order block, obviously, like I explained earlier, and this kind of weak push price to the upside. Now, there's something else I'm looking at here for a sell continuation. Sorry, for a sell to the downside, which is going to complete our correction, which is also what we call a correctional trade, because after all this impulsive move, come on now, just give us some nice retracement before we continue. This is a shallow retracement, and I don't like trading shallow retracement as continuations unless I find myself in those kind of breaker block situations. Now, coming down to 15-minute time frame, look at what is happening here. All right, so market is ranging to the downside like this, and what is in all of this range? This is all liquidity, right? This is all liquidity, and above the liquidity, what do we have? We have this order block here. We have a bit of a fair value gap from this point, right? So this is the reason why I said on a lower time frame structure that is being built, we can definitely see that price might just give us this push into the zone for a continuation on the correction. Remember that it is a correction, right? So we might get a sell setup from here. But trust me, regardless, I don't know why I'm not so comfortable with putting a pending order like this, like a pending order on this. I just want to use more confirmation. Yeah, it's a feeling. Yeah, they say don't trade with feelings, trade with facts and data. Yep, this is the data for me. But I'm not going to set a pending order though. I'm just going to wait. All right, so this is what I'm looking to see price do for a sell continuation. Maybe back to the zone here, which is a pretty much nice 1:3.6, close to 1:4, which is not bad, decent, right? So something like this on a higher time frame. Right. So this was that zone. So let me just take out this, right? This was some explanation I was giving earlier. This is that sell zone that I was still expecting price to come to and react from. Right, somewhere like this. From this sell zone, I'll be a lot more comfortable by doing a reversal trade from this sell zone here. Anything from that, I'll prefer to be on the buy side all the way up. Okay. Yeah, AUDCHF. Yeah. I remember AUDCHF. Where is that pair again? AUDCHF. Oh, we are already active on AUDCHF. Yep. I think mine must have activated. I set a pending order on AUDCHF as well. Let me check mine. Yes. So I'm active on AUDCHF already. I don't know if you can see it. The trade is active. It hasn't really moved out. We're just around the entry point. So if you want to join, you can still be a part of it. So this is the model. I think we did analyze this pair. Was it last week? If I'm not mistaken. We did analyze this pair last week, I think. And this was the whole setup, right? We had an internal break of structure and we had a major break of structure here. The major BOS here. And all of this was part of what just the correction phase. Now, from a higher time frame, which is the 4-hour, we are massively on a downtrend, right? We are generally on a downtrend. But from this point, you can see where the market reacted to, first of all, from this low point, right? From this low. And here we had something that looks like an inverse head of shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, sorry, and then a change of character. So this can be classified as a change of character because this is the low that caused this is the high, beg your pardon, the high that actually caused this low, and the high has been taken out. So on a bigger scale, I would rather put this as a change of character. I'll put this as a choke rather, not a break of structure. But the funny thing is that both choke, break of structure, they are similar. They are both break of structure in if you look at it, right? If you look at it squarely, they are both break, because this is also a break of structure. But we'll just give it those names to be able to identify it properly. But let's just leave it at it is a change of character. And then I have an internal break of structure right here. So this internal break of structure gave us this nice impulsive move, and then market started slowly. This took a lot of time because, I mean, this is a 4-hour time frame, and you can see how it built all the way back down here, right? And then now, where is the entry? This is how we got this entry. So from the lower time frame, let's go to the 1 hour. From the 1 hour time frame, this was the low that caused this whole move, right? And then we have a fair value gap area being still identified, and we have what they call it again. Yeah, we have liquidity, right, being engineered around here. And then this area actually swept liquidity as well. Yep, this liquidity was swept right here, this low, and then price pushed up. Now we're back into the zone. Yep, we're back into the zone, and two things are involved now, depending on how this candle close. So this kind of entry is an aggressive entry because here you're not waiting for any confirmation. You already have your order block, area of interest, and all of those things, and just set your pending order and wait for price. But that's why we call it an aggressive entry, right? Like when you are trying to use proper confirmation, now you allow price sink in and then maybe push out, give you a break of structure and all of those things. Now I'm already in aggressively. Now, should price give me this? You see how this candle closed, right? I like how this candle actually closed. You see, here I'm having these smaller candles, smaller candles, smaller candles. And after all these small candles, I have one major candle pulling down into the zone, right? So two things are involved. Should I have a pushback? Maybe at the end of this 1 hour candle, this candle close as either a tweezer or an inside bar. It will give me more reason or more confirmation that we're going to keep going bullish. But if this candle should close severely back into the zone, drop like this, I still have my stop loss in place already, just for security reasons. It's a 20 pip SL. Yeah, 20 pip SL. So if we have a break out of this, break of structure out of this, then I'm going to even add more positions. Then I'm going to add more position. But for now, I'm in for a little bit. I'm going to wait until more confirmation comes before I can now add up some more positions for me to carry it all the way up. Yep. So that's that. SL in place. The entry is at let me see if I can type it here. You can manually enter if you want to enter it right now. There's no need for dropping coordinates because I'm currently already in this trade, and the SL is at I think the only thing to drop out here is the SL price. Let me drop the SL price where I put mine at 0.5169. 0.5169. 5169. So I mean, this is my first trade of the week. This is my first trade of the week. Let's see how it goes, right? SL in place, very important. So we're just going to wait now and see how price is going to move. All right. Remember, I told you guys ultimately we're still in a downtrend. So should this give us a push up, that means we're going to continue all the way up to this point. Now we have another area of interest on the 4 hour right here. Right? Another area of interest right here. Let's see what the daily time frame looks like again. Yeah, we still have some imbalance to come and fill up here, probably for a sell continuation, right? For a sell continuation. Look at this order block here, unmitigated, just partially, right? So we might see price push up to come back here for a drop, or it might just keep continuing in its direction to the upside. Anyway, the conditions for me to rejoin this correction all the way to this up is being fulfilled. So I'm in, right? The conditions have been fulfilled. So I'm in, put my stop loss, and I'm going to let price do its thing. It's that simple. All right. Which other pair? Which other pair? Which other pair? I think also I have something on GBP AUD. GBP AUD, yeah. GBP AUD. So this sell was a very massive sell. I remember not allowing price hit my TP on this one. I closed out somewhere around here. I was in the class when I closed out this one. And when I look at this kind of movement, I'm like, God, I need to learn how to, I'm still trying to whip my skill on how to hold trades for a very long period of time. This number, I used to be the trader of day, but I want to start, swinging now. I'm still learning the ropes of swinging because it's not easy to swing. I've been able to swing for a couple of days, hold trades for like 2, 3 days. I think I can't remember the last time I did hold trade for like a week or more than a week. It's been long because, it's easy to say, I'm going to hold this trade for this long, but trust me, it's not easy to actually hold that trade whether you're in loss or you're in profit. In fact, let me tell you something, it's harder to hold when you're in profit because I mean, you are seeing the money, you are seeing the risk to reward you have covered, and you're like, should I be greedy? If I'm holding, will I not be consider myself being greedy? Let me just take. What if it just goes all the way back now? The mentality that you need to develop for holding trades that long has to be, man, you have to be, these gym rats that they don't skip a day in the gym. Like every day you see them, they have built a strong mentality, right? That's the kind of mentality I'm working to build right now because damn, because I had this projection all the way down here, I knew this thing was going to drop all the way down here. But was I able to hold? In fact, even the TP that I set for myself, I did not still I did not still hold it to that TP. The moment I saw this candle change like this, this tweezer, I see this tweezer, right? I mean, this just got me pissed and like, nah, I'm not gonna do that because the stop loss was quite small. The risk to reward was already massive. I'm like, I'm gonna be greedy on stupid to allow this trade go all the way back up here. So I closed up. Then the next day, this happened. Exactly what I projected. Anyways, that's by the way. So let's look at what actually I'm looking at now, how to join the continuation, right? So let's go down to the daily time frame first. Top down analysis is always top notch, right? Now, on the daily time frame, you can see where that my buy came from, right? I have a tweezer candle there, like a nice buy to sell, which is also an order block and a nice break of structure right here on the daily time frame. A very clean internal structural break, right? And the full structure was also broken, right? That is the low that actually caused this last high, right? That's the structural break, right? Down here. So in all essence, we are pushing down. That's what it means. The daily time frame is already telling us that. So judging from this movement, we have an order block, which is like a protected zone that price created, swept this liquidity and dropped back. So we're expecting price to come back to this order block, right? Whether it's the origin of the order block, that means like the open of the order block or the 50% range, we're going to find out on the smaller time frame where the refined entry is going to be, right? So on the 4 hour, I have this on the 4 hour. Now, the 4 hour, right? This is the origin of the whole impulsive move. This is our internal break and this is our external break of structure. Now, this is my trading range, right? So if I pull up my fib just to check something, pull up my fib from this zone, from this high to this low. Now, this zone that I'm drawing is above the 50% area. Remember, this is a downtrend. So since it's above the 50% area, it's still good for me, right? To find my entries around this zone. The reason why I'm pulling this fib is just to confirm if I'm not on a mid-range kind of retracement on this particular sell position that I'm trying to get. Now, this zone right here does not look too nice and smooth on the 4 hour, right? But there's a nice candlestick here that we can actually take. It's like, if you look at the candle pattern here, it's like it's created a nice morning star. I don't know what it's going to look like on your own, but here on Owanda Broker, it's a morning star. But then that's not just it. So we'll come back to the 2 hour, then we'll find a structure in here. We'll find a structure in here. You see this order block mitigated partially and price still dropped into it before the drop. So we have another order block here unmitigated, right? This order block did not sweep liquidity, but there was a sweep from the origin of this zone. But this particular one did not sweep liquidity. That's why I'm having this 50% zone right here. That's this line you're seeing. 50% of my zone. Now, why am I interested in this area? You see this liquidity that was engineered here, right? Price came and gave a nice drop. This drop has already catered for the liquidity that I'm expecting price to give me. Then what am I having above the liquidity? I have my order block area of interest from the 4 hour even down to the 2 hour is still present, right? So this zone is valid to me. Now you might see this all of this imbalance here and ask, oh, will price not come to this area? I don't know. It might come there, but my criterias, my setup is looking to sell from here. Reason also being that you see on the daily time frame, this zone is simply the open of this order block. So it's very possible that we may not see that push, like that very deep retracement back to this zone, because of the nature of what this candle has created here. The momentum was already on the rise, so we might just have price mitigating this order block from the open, which is actually the correct area to mitigate this order block, or at least jump into the 50% before we have to sell, right, to continue to the downside. Now, just as I did when I was getting my entry from for this particular setup here, we can still wait because this is kind of large, right? This zone is large, the time frame is high, and this zone is big. This is GBP80. It's kind of volatile as well. So we can still wait. We're not just going to just see price jumping here, then we'll jump on the sell. No. Even if the structural liquidity is taken out on all of that, we still have things to look at on the inside. So that is how you can get to refine your entry even more. You see how I got this one? I'm not going to go into this explanation, but it was basically the same thing. I was waiting for price to sweep this liquidity, right? For price to sweep this liquidity, which it did, but I still did not enter immediately. I had to wait, then get this refinement, right? Wait for price to finish doing this thing, then refine the entry from this area right here. So that's exactly what I'm still going to do here. You're not going to just jump in, you're going to wait for a proper confirmation. And that confirmation is what I usually teach my students, like basically the sweep, liquidity sweep, tweezer candles or engulfing candles. There's a way those candles will appear and how you will see them, and then you confirm them as liquidity or as normal candlestick, right? And you confirm them as your entry criteria, and you now swing in to take your trade. Basically it. So on GA, I just want to see price coming to this area before I, sweep in for my confirmation, before price actually gives me what I want. So this guy is still here, no movement yet. Let's see USD CHF. So I have also this setup on USD. I think this is the last one we're going to touch before we end the class. USD CHF. If you guys remember clearly, we did this on Sunday. We had this projection on Sunday, and price is playing out exactly as I projected, right? Exactly as I projected. So this was the projection from Sunday. Like I wanted price to drop, then drop back in here, then drop back down here for the buy, right? This is my buy zone and all of that. But this first drop I did not catch. The reason is because I want to actually see the movement, let it drop to this zone, then give me an entry, right? Just as I have projected here, down to this point, then back here, and it's playing out just exactly. So this is the goal, right? This is where I want to buy from. So if I can get price to push back up here, because already on the lower time frame, we have already engineered liquidity, right? So something like this, like a trend line liquidity around here, like this. And I have FVG here, all the way up here, probably New York session. We might see something like this, push back here. Then this is where the sell is going to come from, all the way down to where I want to buy from, right? So I'm not going to draw all of that. So I'm just going to leave the major one that we did from Sunday, so that I'm still following that scale that I drew on all of that. So I want price to push up here, get an entry for a sell, hold all the way down here for this buy entry before price continue pushing up. Very sweet setup. I hope it plays out just as we're anticipating. All right, that's about it for now. Avi, which pair are you talking about? Lower time frame. Which pair is that? I don't know the pair you're talking about. Let's check GBP NZD. Okay, just chat GBP NZD and then we'll be done. I don't know the pair you're talking about. You said from a lower time frame, it has gone far already. Please bring it to my notes. Okay, let's check GBP NZD first. NZDCHF rather. NZDCHF. NZDCHF. Let's start from the daily time frame. Let me see. Oh wow. What exactly are you looking for in this pair? Man. What exactly are you looking for in this pair? Bro, this pair is just, the price action is not looking nice at all. This is the weekly. It's only weekly that is even giving a really nice price action. Other than that, the smaller time frames are crazy. Like this is daily time frame. Look at how these candles have been printed. So tiny, so small. This was the last time we had a nice momentum move. That was on which day was this? 25th of April. Okay, we had another momentum move on 9th of April. Okay, this was 3rd of April. This was 9th of April. I mean, other than that, market has been choppy, choppy, choppy. I don't know what exactly you're looking for on this pair. Honestly, I'm not sure I'm going to even trade, even if I see any setup here. I'm not sure I'm going to trade it because it's just looking so bizarre. Okay, let's break it down, Sha. For the sake of the question you asked, okay, let me go back to that 4 hour and see for one daily first of all. So on the daily time frame, we're massively selling, right? On the weekly self, it's a massive sell. We're trying to, on the weekly time frame is about to create a new lower low. If you look closely, right, it's about to create a new lower low. So apparently, if it creates a new lower low, this is the impulsive move. And imagine an impulsive move that is this choppy on a daily time frame, right? So we're aggressively selling. That's what it just means on NZD card, NZD CHF. So let's look at the smaller time frame. First of all, on the daily, there was a massive range here that price broke out from, right? So market ranged here for a bit. In fact, it was a square box range, right? You know what the square box range is, right? Something like this. And it has this odd area of interest that did not get mitigated all the way like this. So missed out on that, dropped all the way down to this point. So this was where it broke out from. So this is where we expect price to come back to, right? This is daily. So let's look at what the 4 hour holds. Now on the 4 hour time frame, from the 4 hour time frame, after the break, there have been a mitigation. There's been more break of structures, right? More break of structures to the downside. A clean one there. Then had another break right here. Had another break right here. There was no even proper move, but we had another break of structure right here. I'm just trying to, really find what we're going to trade here or what I would want to trade here. Right, this was break of structure all the way down here, and this was the last low that created a new high. Break of structure again. Good. So apparently, this is our last. I'll say this is my last lower high, and the market have created a new lower low, but we cannot call this a lower low yet until price start pushing up because we are still creating that lower low. So apparently this is the new trading range I have from this high down to wherever this price want to stop, right, on the 4 hour time frame. So let me break it down again to 2 hour. So from the 2 hour time frame, it's a lot clearer here. Now we have a low and a high, so I'm going to now shift this like this right here, because this place is choppy and all full of like chronic mitigation. So now I've lowered the whole thing down to this point, right? So 1 hour now. Let me go to 1 hour. So basically, this is my trading range here, from that high to wherever this low is going to take us from, because here we've broken structure again to the downside. We have a clean BOS. Now inside here, it's still looking nasty. Like there are no clear defined areas of interest. It's all choppy with a lot of stuffs. Man, in all honesty, okay, let me just still look through properly. The only place now I'm seeing is this zone, which is still not, it doesn't really have anything to hold, and probably this zone as well. Right, let me see what 30 minutes is showing. Nah, this is not making any sense. If this one is not it. This order block here has been mitigated. I mean, all honesty, I don't know what you're looking for here. To me, there's nothing to trade here, honestly. I'm just going to leave this pair. I don't know. You look for entry somewhere inside here, but that's it. So there's nothing for me to trade inside there. I don't know what to look for right there. So I'm just going to leave that pair. Yeah? So we're going to end the class right here. Just going to wait for those setups to see if they'll play out. So AEDCHF at the one I'm currently on now is still okay. Just pull up in a little bit of profit as well. It has not moved out. And then where is that other guy? Oh, crazy. GBP did not activate me. All right, look at it. I don't know if anybody jumped on it. I don't like to jump on entries. If I don't get activated, I'll just let it ride, but I don't jump on it. So apparently you guys see how the whole thing is going, right? The analysis was correct, but my entry was not flaccid yet. Fair value gap traders again. If you're trading fair value gap, you got a hit here. You got a hit here. This is a good 1-0 for you. Now let me show you that stuff I taught you guys again on Sunday, right? Using still fair value gap. You may wonder, so why are you not using it? I don't know. I don't just want to compromise my own setup, right? So this is the fair value gap point, right? This is the fair value gap area. Now, where is 50% of this move, of this box? This is around the 50% of this box. Again, fair value gap got another sniper entry using the 50%. You can adapt this strategy. It's really, really nice. I've showed you guys twice now how this stuff played out here and made me miss my own setup, right? Nice sniper entry. And then fact, what do I tell you? I told you guys that their stop loss usually will be where when they take from the 50% on our order block entry, that's where their stop loss usually is, right? That's like a 4-5 pip, and the market has done close to 30 pips. That is what 5. That is a clean 1:6. Bro, I'm done. If I get this 1:6, I'm done. Done. Anyways, that's all we have for today. Thank you guys so much. So remember, if you have not subscribed to our channel, come on, do me a favor. One of the good things you're going to do for me is to just hit that subscribe button right now. Also, just hit the like button as well. Just help us grow, help us push the channel. We're trying to get back on the channel for real now, so that we can be dropping more powerful content like this. And definitely every Tuesdays like this, we're going to be going live together, and Sundays and Tuesdays, right? Sundays and Tuesdays, we're going to be going live together. If you're learning something, if you're actually getting value from this, one way to say thank you to me is by subscribing and also liking this particular video that we're currently on right now. Okay, so thank you for your time. I'll be heading to the trade house in a bit. I have class with my my advanced student today. Can't wait to be with you guys. So until next time, goodbye.